All right, I'm going to try to say this as entirely as I can. The fact that you have some parents that have raised their kids to be privileged and they've raised their children to feel like, they are the center of attention, like little brats, and then you don't correct them. There's no accountability being taken by these children. And then they get outside into the real world and they become weak and fragile and don't have any problem solving skills because they used to things falling into their lap. They used to their world, everything, revolving around them. And they get into the real world and it doesn't happen like that. And now these children, because they don't have any type of discipline, and also they don't know how to communicate and resolve conflicts, what's happening is these children are using their bratty, weak, and fragile ass ways to go and get weapons and kill other that's what's happening. They're not fighting. They're too insecure to fight. They don't want to take the risk of getting beat up or, losing in front of their people. So they're going to get weapons, and they are actually willing to risk taking a life and maybe a life sentence, their freedom, just because of weak, fragile emotions. That the parents are not taking the time to help build emotionally intelligent children. They're not taking the time to let them know about discipline, or just discipline them, period, and let them know about consequences and responsibilities. And therefore they come outside in the outside world and have tantrums and feel like everybody else is supposed to fall at their feet like they've been raised in their household. It's either that or the neglect that they are getting. And sometimes the neglect may be better than the attention they might receive from the parents. So, it's so many possibilities as to why these children are out here. But the main reasoning is when you have your children and you are an active parent in their life and they still out here doing this shit, you are not doing your job to instill moral principles in this vessel. So when it goes outside, it's creating chaotic situations and everybody's suffering at the end of the day. And it's crazy that we have to live in a space where there are people that probably don't even take accountability themselves or too busy. We just out of balance. We so out of balance. We so out of balance. Like, this is a world, but with all of the problems that we have in it, you would think that the smaller issues would be resolved with something that, is just makes sense. Things that make sense. But I can see in America that the simplest things that would help to just create a better society, they don't want that shit. They want chaos over here because chaos is what lined their pockets. Trust and believe that. I'm reading about another school shooting. These kids just got back to school from Maryland, and it's crazy. It's crazy. Somebody lost their life, and, like I've been saying, the world just picks up and go back to how, we just pick up and carry on. America is so used to trauma, so used to just taking one in the chin and acting like it shit ain't happened and keep on trucking. There's no revolutionary bone in the bodies, in the vessels in America. And it's been proven over and over and over again that, they can come for your children, your food, your money, everything. But as long as the wheel keeps turning in America, everybody's going to participate. And that is a big problem. It's a huge problem because it's a lot of things that's happening that we could really control But because everybody is just participating blindly, you know, it's almost like we helping to walk ourselves into this big ultimate goal. And everybody knows what that is, the 3-letter word, okay? Before you know it, security and surveillance state will be a prevalent thing because you guys are letting it happen. I'm sorry. Not sorry, actually.